Welcome everyone and thank you for joining this data science experience overview webinar. So today we would be discussing about a tool called Data Science Experience that allows all the data science developers and business analysts to collaborate and look for a platform where we can have all the data and we can ingest all the data and we can analyze it. So we'll go through the summary and the overview of the platform, and then we will do a demonstration on how you can actually practically feel the power of data onto that tool. So this platform also is very unique in a way because it allows you all the developers to take the data from all open source repositories such as GitHub and integrate it onto this platform, and very unique capabilities to ingest all that data and to analyze it using different reporting tools. And there is a kernel shell that has Spark in it, so we have Spark, Python, Scala, and R, and various programming languages through which we can collaborate on this tool. Going forward, we have the contents as Watson Data Platform that covers Bluemix and all the Watson APIs that we have, and then Data Science Experience itself as one of the contents, and then it's a project and community-based tool where we can create our own projects. Inside projects, we can collaborate, add collaborators, we can have multiple people working on the same project. The whole point of having a project is basically, let's say when one developer is working on particular code, he can allow other developers to share that code, and he can share that code in real time and let other people edit it and update in real time. So makes a data science experience persona very easy and effective way to collaborate and do a software rapid development. And then there's a GitHub integration, and then there are community cards. By community card, I mean we have tools where we can integrate the code from community members who are developing their predictive models or any kind of models, and we can train and deploy them in this platform. Then there are IBM value-added services on it. There's Apache Spark for IBM Analytics, object storage, and there are connectors to Watson Data Platform. With Watson Data Platform, there are so many things that data science developers can achieve when it comes to do a visualization, to fulfill a visualization need, reporting need, or build predictive models, or even segregate to the deepest level of analysis. And then it definitely supports RStudio, which is a very good tool to do visualizations using a line of code on huge set of data. Then there is a Shiny web application framework. Shiny web apps are the web APIs. Those could be used for web development. And then there's IBM machine learning part to it. Going forward, we're introducing IBM Watson Data Platform into data science experience. It's the first data analytics platform for cognitive business, and based on platform and a method to work on that platform, and has an ecosystem around it. So it has a community-based approach to it. The four segregated layer have data engineering, data science, business analysis, and app development. So combine all these, we can have task specific and collaborative experience on data science experience tool. And it's more of a comprehensive service for providing data and analytics. It's open, it's intelligence, it's hybrid, and we can perform. There's a Spark kernel on which it operates. It's a new way to put data to work and connects users to data and analytics. Watson Data Platform, we can get data sources from cloud, from on-prem. It could be structured or unstructured type of data. It could be in motion or at rest data. It could be internal, external data. There is a lot of data from weather companies, since weather company is a part of IBM, and there's a lot of access to Twitter data, which is an extra level here, which is not available for general purpose computing for people. And then there's a box collaboration to it, where you can store and collaborate documents and data. And the three different options this platform gives are gives the option to find your data and to share it and to collaborate in real time. So these three are the main functions that are focused while working on a project. And the common type of data are the one which we discussed, and then these are the pipelines and projects. The overall method that it follows is first we have to ingest the data, and then we do a discovery or cleansing or preparation and analysis, and then deploy that analysis and cleansing and functions to a report or a dashboard or applications or APIs. And then we iterate this model, and then it is while analyzing or cleansing, it could be done on Hadoop, NoSQL, SQL Object Store, and it is all under a governed platform. That means there are policies and mandates and legal uh, rules and regulations that govern the security of that data, in order to make sure that the data you're working on is protected and you're following and do not fail any part of project building policies. Going further to it, a closer look to what makes up the complete platform is, while ingesting, we have IIG catalog, which is a governance module, and then there's a Bluemix Data Connect service, there is a Bluemix Lift service, and then there are streaming analytics. So these are the four different modules that are used during ingestion of data. And analysis is done using data science experience and Watson Analytics, Cognos Analytics. Cognos Analytics is also a way where you can see different data sets getting into one topology, where you are able to view it in a, so let's say there's a tool called Tableau, and it gives you a geographic location topology based view. So you can get the same kind of view from Cognos Analytics. You can make funnel charts, you can do a lot that you can achieve using different technologies like Spotfire, Tableau, or those reporting tools. And then there is a Spaces Modeler, and then there's a decision optimization algorithms that you can deploy while doing analysis. That is, it comes as a part of extract, transform, load as well. And the data science experience, mainly you can write your own code on Python, and you can actually build up a model and train it based on the needs of a developer. What are the functions that we want to achieve, or what are the things that we want to do with the data. All that analysis and coding part could be done here. And then there is a deployment we can do using Bluemix DevOps platform and IBM machine learning platform. Also, Spark as a service and IBM machine learning and streaming analytics are the components where you can take data from analytical stage to deployment. And then we have there's a caption persist. That means we have big insights on cloud. That is another way to approach the same kind of functionalities to tackle the problems that are concerned with analysis of data. And then there is IBM Cloud and a way to store all that data. There is Compose, through which you can store the data. You can perform search on data. There are different, like 3, 4, 5, 6 type of databases that you can choose among: MongoDB, etcd, RabbitIQ. There are different type of databases that comes under Compose that you can choose from in order to store your data. Then there's DashDB, which is another database that allows you to store your data in different formats. And then there's Object Store, and it's all governed with IIG catalog. And there are metadata services through which you can also find indexing, and it becomes very easy for a data science a developer or an engineer or a business analyst to basically perform all the operations on data and look and feel it into a report or a dashboard. So that's the complete overview of a platform. And then there are partners to the ecosystem at Watson Data Platform. So there are different AMP Spark, Python, and Hadoop. There are Anaconda services; those are embedded into it. There's OpenStack platform. There's Kafka service inside it. There's Cassandra, and there's Bandisco's Big Replicate. There's Databricks, RStudio. We partner with a lot of industry leaders when it comes to big data and Watson Data Platform. It is tailored to the experience and user collaboration. The three key aspects are input, output, and analysis. So it starts with input when you understand the problem and the domain of the data, and then you ingest that particular data. We explore and understand the data and transform and cleanse it. So let's say there is a header and there are some decimal values. You might want a precise uh, input. You want to put in a precise input in a particular file format or a number format or a type, data type. So those things we can achieve using the input variable. And then there's analysis that we do on the data. That is, we shape the data, we evaluate it, we put functions and methods over there in this option and then in this step. And then there is a create and build model. After this steps comes output step, where we communicate results and deliver and deploy model, where basically presenting it to the client or to our executives in form of dashboards and reports. So, and then there are four functions for industry segments. One is data engineer, how the data is architected and how it could be organized, what table format and what kind of file format that we are doing, and how much data, what is the frequency of data. Those are the functions and job responsibilities of data engineers. And this could be done using Bluemix Data Connect. And then there's a data scientist who wants to get deep into data and draw the hidden insights. Let's say there is a call data and call logs, and a data scientist wants to define what is the best strength of signals and what particular location. So those kind of hidden insights could be driven by data scientists. And then there's a business analyst who would define their business strategies using these insights and also using the data. And then there are app developers who would plug into data and build models and write code to build applications. Those could be leveraged by different industry segment users and executives. This could be done using Bluemix.
Gautam, we have a few questions.
Yes.
The first one is, how is Watson Analytics different from the data science experience?
So data science experience is itself a platform, and that is something I'm going to demonstrate. And Watson Data Platform WDP has all the components to it. Those could be integrated with data science experience. So data science experience itself is a platform where you can do analysis part. So there are complete different things, but have a collaboration ability. So I'm definitely gonna dig deeper into data science experience now. So since we are there any other questions?
Yes, there's another one. I'm using DSX and I see how to install new libraries from the notebook. I installed H2O AI and it needs a JVM. How do I install that?
Okay, so it's a more technical question, and we would have answers for that. But there is a way you can install libraries, and but most of the time, what happens is there is integration of libraries like Anacondas that we have added to it. I'm not sure we could take up that question right now, but definitely could touch base on. But there is an option where we can, there is a chat option where you can post this question, and you'll definitely get the steps how to do it.
Okay, so we can also get back to the person that asked the question with more specifics. Thank you.
Yes. And any more?
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and now introducing the data science experience, there are three main functions. Ability to learn while you're building there is this built-in learning module, how you get started. There are different dialog box that appears when you're working, and what are the steps that you can perform in order to get to your data, what can you do with the data, what are the different APIs, modules, problem statements, use cases. Those are different ways and advanced tutorials through which we can learn how to best utilize the tool. There's an option to create, there's a module of creating, there are best open source tools inside data science experience platform, and there are IBM value added services which are state of art data products that through which you can leverage the value of creating an asset or a model. And then there is the collaborate aspect of data science experience, through which the community and all the social features could collaborate together, like could be brought into one platform, and all the community members could collaborate together in order to provide meaningful models and code through which we can collaborate and build models.
Another question. Do you know if there's any deep learning tutorials?
There are deep learning and machine learning tutorials, and there is a link to it through data science experience, and there is a way we can, I could send up different resources to the particular person who has this question. So
okay, thank you.
Yeah, and like we have the external URL, and there is an internal Zax page, so we don't need the internal Zax page. I'm not sure if anybody could access that, but there is an external URL which anybody could access and find tutorials on there. And data scientist persona, the current challenges and pain points that particular data scientist would face. There are rigid tool sets. There are programming languages out there in the market, but then it's very hard to find support on it. There's only, you have to choose one particular application. Let's say you're choosing a shell scripting language, let's say Perl, you're programming on it, and then you have a need of using some other language, but then you have to rebuild the code and use different syntaxes for doing it in Python or any other scripting language. So there's only one way you could choose, only one approach right now. So this comes under rigid tool set, and that particular code would not be able to connect, would not have capabilities to connect easily to other required dashboard or report providing platforms such as R or Tableau or Spotfire or etc. And then there is a fragmented and time-consuming aspect to the challenges and pain points. There are different disjoints environment, and it becomes really frustrating when, let's say, we are working on a particular project right now and we are halfway through it and using MATLAB for it. I mean, not MATLAB, using Python for it, and then we have to use Spark or RStudio, and there is not a real-time collaboration or integration. There is no metadata or data lineage. Let's say you start building one particular code, and then let's say you're doing a sum function, and then using that sum function you want to perform a linear regression or something else, then there's no data lineage to it. So that's another challenge. And then there are silos. There are very limited ways typical industries perform all the different steps. First, you want to put all the data into development, then you need to put into test, and then you need to put into production. So there are like different steps to qualify when you're just building one task specific model. There are different, it takes a lot of time, and there are so many hurdles that data scientists face that adds up to the silo. So, and these results are difficult to share. Then we would go through a short video just to define the data science experience. What are the things that we could achieve using the data science experience, how we can simply drag and drop the code and use it onto data science experience platform. So
We can't hear it, Gautam.
Oh, we cannot hear it?
No.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll skip to the demonstration part then. I'm not sure why not though.
Can you try increasing the volume?
I could do that, yeah. Can you hear now?
Data is everywhere.
Now it's very loud. There you go.
Data, simple and accessible to everyone, gives it meaning. We've interviewed hundreds of data scientists to understand not just what they do, but how they think, how they learn, how they build off the work of others, and how they get feedback to improve their output. Step one is getting the right tools together in one place, with the data. We started with the open source tools that are familiar to so many: Jupyter Notebooks, RStudio, and we're working on incorporating many more. But data scientists do much more than work with data. They research previous efforts in the field, gather assets from searches, use tutorials to gain new insights, and exchange ideas with their peers. We're sharing the first steps of our journey, designing what will soon be the easiest way to do great things with data. Here's what it looks like. When you land on the homepage, you have immediate access to tools and data from your organization, a marketplace of both free and premium data, and access to data stored on your machine. Filter the results to get to the content that you really care about and relates to your work. If you find a notebook that is related to your work, copy it into your project and give credit to the originator of the work. Here's where it gets interesting. The right side panel. We call it the Maker Palette. It allows you to drag and drop code snippets and algorithms from articles, comments, or projects right into your notebook. Watch tutorial videos in the Maker Palette while working on the notebook, without opening multiple windows from various websites. This data space is extremely powerful, not just because of the easy access and analysis of data, although of course that capability is fundamental. It's the power of a community, the ability to easily learn from others, work with peers, discover work that moves the field forward. We can't wait to see what this becomes and what amazing work it enables.
Yes. So as we might see, there are different things that we can achieve using data science experience. Now we would go to the demonstration. And yeah. So we could, anybody could sign up for a free trial. It's a 30-day trial, and I will use a sign in. So that's how the welcome page looks for the data science experience. There are different aspects. One is article, another one is data set, another one is notebooks, and then tutorials. And then if we go to articles, we would see all the articles published. And something says data science process, something says data science experience in IBM Bluemix, improvising ROI, return of investment of big data and analytics. These are different articles. Some are published by Big Data University. Big Data University is a very good way to learn different big data components. It's just if someone wants to, go and look for Big Data University, it's just right away appear over here. And it's the best way to learn for different analytics and big data science courses. So if people wants to learn, this is one of the resources. And then there are different articles where people could make very good use of these articles and can keep themselves updated with what's going on in data science experience space. And there are different blogs. We can also contribute to these articles. And then there is this all comes from a community. So it is all coming from all the developers and data scientists sitting across and using this platform. So it gives a very good platform, gives you a very good way of interacting with all the developers all around the world using this platform. And as we see, there are different data sets here. So there is nurse assignment problem, total population by country, all the countries, there are WDIs. You can get it from all these statistical benchmark agencies. Those help towards the calculating and keeping the record of population in a country. You can get all the data sets here. There are different, and generally we have to pay a lot of money just to get these data sets, but then these data sets are available over here and could be utilized, leveraged by any data science developer. And then there's Airbnb data over here, different sorts of data, and then it's huge and could be used for a number of operations. It's a very good tool to perform your operations onto a notebook. Notebook is basically a way where you can build your tools. So let's say pick up anything. Let's say we pick up finding optimal locations for a new store using this is an optimization technique. So there are different steps how you could do it. Download. I think someone had a question how to download the library. So this is the step in downloading the library. How you could do it. You could just run the following code and just deploy it onto. And how you run it, how you actually do it is basically you go to a project, you create a new project. So let's say do it in a. This is how you can. So I have a demo project built up here. You can just build up a new one as well. And the only thing you have to do is you go edit it and start writing your code. And when you're writing your code, you can actually take help of this search pane over here that's gonna appear, and you can write a particular algorithm, and then you can just drag and drop that particular code over here. It's a very good way, very unique way to write your code. And when you want to execute it, just play this play button, and your connections are set. And once you have created the connection to your DB2 where you have all your data, you can query the data. So I have done it for a movie called Transformers. I was using sentiment analysis and different hashtags. So that was when I was doing it for one, analyzing the sentiments of how people feel towards watching a new Transformer series movie, and what would be the responses, what would be the particular locations they would be able to we would have expect a good number of audiences. So this data could be used for any client and any particular functionality. So this is one way, and then this could be shared across just by this link. You can share this particular notebook, make someone editor, add a collaborator, make someone edit your data and edit your code and work on it simultaneously as you're working. And then we can share it on social media as well, and could share it in text format and in form of sensitive code cells, so that people don't have a problem of copying, pasting, and putting it somewhere. So different easiest way to collaborate are provided on this platform. So yeah, going back to our demonstration over here, then we have there are these tutorials those are available. We can change the code, or we can run it using this. And if the best way to perform some functions or build some models onto it, there is a community out there. You basically reach out to the community and you ask questions that, hey, we are trying to build this particular we are trying to, so let's say there's a business case, we are trying to analyze it, or perform a demand supply chain tool. We want to analyze data using that demand supply chain tool. What kind of inventory is coming into my store, or what kind of inventory is going out of it. I want to perform the logistics and keep a track of all those things. So you can just ask a question from, we can start a conversation from the community or from any fellow folks, and they would automatically pick up that code and give it to you so that you can just deploy it. It becomes so easy for a developer, when it comes to do code, so that something that is already built in there, you just leverage, so you can reuse the code, and then you can modify it, edit it. You can standardize your own models or your own predictive models. You can start a conversation. You can ask, there are different, you can reply under 5 minutes, and you can perform any kind of functions over here. And then there are data services, there are connections, how to load data, object storage, and there is RStudio and Notebook. RStudios are a good way to do visualizations on your data. You just, when you're starting a new notebook, you just write that it's, just give it a name. It's a demo notebook, and then type a description. Then you can choose the language you want to perform. Then you could choose a version of your Spark instance, and then put it under a project and under a service. There is also another integration from a URL. So when it comes to URL, basically, go out to GitHub and type any particular software or function that you want to import from here, and just copy the URL, and just copy that URL over here, and just paste it onto that over here, and this will integrate. Just this simple copy paste would integrate all your code into your notebook. So it's very easy, very effective. You can also import your code from a file, and could import a Python, Scala, or R notebook, in this particular format from your local device onto from your computer. There is this another way of there is this studio that we opened up, RStudio, and we can basically code here and debug and build a code, perform visualizations here, look up the history, look up at the Spark kernel connection status. This is basically RStudio. One simple line of code, and you will be able to see different scattered chart, funnel chart, bar graphs, all the visualizations that are available. And then we have, so this is all about projects. This is tools and connections and services, and then there's a community-based approach. So that's most of it. We can name an instance, user instance over here, and then use any NoSQL DB, or so over here I have used a DB for analytics and cloud, and as a NoSQL database. That's for one of the projects that I was working on. And then there is a community-based approach, like as we discussed, where you have all the tutorials. So one of the questions was, how can we look for a particular tutorial? You can actually go into tutorials, and over here there are different menus you can search from. There are blogs that people write, where we can basically find a way that experience IoT, Internet of Things with Coursera. You can choose from n number of programs. Those are available and are put in by different users of the platform. So basically, reiterate, reuse, and train your models, build your model, get your expertise let people share your expertise on different models and share their expertise over here. It's a very easy and convenient way to collaborate. That's pretty much it. And if we have some questions, we can certainly take them up, or we can further dig deeper on it. I would make a pause for like 2 minutes over here in order for any questions.
Yes, there's a couple of questions. One is, what is the long-term strategy of IBM here?
So the long-term strategy is basically to have a lot of people communicate in real time and remove the time frames or remove the challenges that developer or analyst would face while working on a platform or working on a to basically remove all the silos so that people could collaborate easily. Once we have built up this community, once we have this huge platform available for data, it's basically it's the investment that IBM is making in open source in order for people to leverage data sets and perform analytics on it, use so this reuse and availability. Providing a platform, a single platform, has given would definitely add up to IBM's brand name, and it's an investment that IBM is making in the market, open source market and big data domain.
Okay, the next question is, could you talk about the pricing structure for DSX?
Yes, there is actually it's very much visible to everybody. So there is I believe it's there. Once you finish up your 30-day trial, there are different instances that you can pull in. I think it's over here, plans. So for cloud, desktop, and local, there are different plans. Power on demand. So yeah, there is an enterprise plan, like for a enterprise scale data science experience platform. So it varies. So there's a free trial for $0 for enterprise. It's 9,200 per instance per month. So it depends on what kind of uses that we want to leverage from it. View pricing and buy. So, but these are three available for now. Any other questions?
Yes. Does IBM DSX integrate TensorFlow?
Yes.
Okay. The next question is there an open source Watson SDK that can be imported into DSX and the link for it?
There is open source components, and you can integrate it to Watson, and I would be able to send the link, I believe, or you can just ask it on the chat if you're already using it.
Yeah, I guess you could also search for Watson APIs, and there's a full collection of Watson APIs that you can integrate into your applications.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good question. What is local?
Local, yeah, so it's...
you show the plans for local and desktop and cloud, so maybe it's a good opportunity to explain the difference between the three.
Yeah, so local is generally comes for on-premises softwares. So when you want to have a local storage, you don't want your data to be shared with anybody. So that's what is meant by local. And over here, it's 5 users are included, and there are additional users if you want. And the model comes 3 compute nodes and additional nodes if you want for your systems, and then there are tutorial notebooks and collaborations and connections to your on-prem data.
Okay. Is there a URL to get to a -db community instance?
Yeah, I think that is more of if you perform a search on these available APIs, I think you'll be able to find it. I am not particularly aware of as such, but I can look into it. But dash DB is basically Bloom. You can have connections using Bluemix, and if this has connections to Bluemix, so there are APIs. Yes, it could be done.
Okay. I'm not sure I understand what this question is. It says, is DSX being adopted currently somewhere?
Oh yes, we have so many users of DSX, data science experience. So I think this is more of is this a new thing? No, it's not a new thing. It's been in we've been able to deploy data science experience to a lot of enterprises and a lot of companies. And the best use case I would discuss here is, so let's say if you hire 10 data scientists and you want to start your development right away. So if you have data science experience platform onto your organization, it becomes so easy, and you can basically keep record of the man hours or working hours a developer is putting into building that particular code or achieving that particular functionality for your company. It becomes very easy to track all that, and saves a lot of money for any organization in building a software. So and a lot of people are using it.
The next question is related to it, which is, can you name some companies?
So Gartner has yeah, sure, I mean I can, and we can Google it too. AT&T is using it. Yeah, so there is a Gartner's Magic Quadrant, and in that Magic Quadrant, data science experience stands first. So it's one of the, and almost every company is using Python and R. So we have a lot of users. Yeah, IBM stands, as one of the leaders in data science experience. So there are, I'm not sure if I would be able to give out the names of, our clients, but yeah, there is a very good number of users so, so think of it as all those people who are using Python for their, software development and for building their models, who are using SPSS and these tools. All of them are using instances of data science experience, even the small industries. We do have a lot of customers in commercial space.
Yeah, there's someone that really wants to hear some names of clients, but I'm not sure if you're in liberty of.
Yes, yeah, but we can definitely showcase some use cases, I would say, or success factors. But if you want to know for a particular, I'm not sure if I'm at the liberty to tell the names.
Okay, next question. When loading data, where is the data asset storage located in the Spark running in the background?
So you can use different databases for it. You can use Compose, and Compose basically gives you an option of using any database. So you can even use dash DB. I was using Cloud, and so Compose gives you MongoDB and gives you Elasticsearch. So if Compose is a part of providing database as service, and then Rethink DB. So there are different databases. It's MongoDB, Elasticsearch, Rethink, Redis, Postgres, etcd, Rabbit, MQ, SkylarDB, MySQL. Everything comes into data science experience. You can use any one of those, whichever you want, based on what kind of data set you are using.
Yeah, and I guess it's worth mentioning or clarifying that data science experience is fully integrated with our Bluemix platform,
Yes.
which is our cloud platform. So you can actually have just a general object storage that's on Bluemix. So if you go to bluemix.net, you'll be able to see all the different services that are there, where object storage is one of them.
Yeah, and since data science experience is built on Spark, so it basically gives you connectivity across all IBM, big data domain applications and frameworks. So Watson uses Bluemix Data Lift and all those 4 components that we discussed earlier in order to ingest data. So object storage being part of storing the data onto a particular database, you can choose any one among this, and then you have Cloud and several others. This is just one of those. and it has a lot of options in it by itself.
The next question is there a way to specify running the code on a specific GPU or how many CPU cores? Can we specify the memory, and how does it affect pricing?
That's more of a pricing question, and if there is a particular, it all depends on the compute nodes that you, and basically depends on the volume of data. So once we have the particular volume of data and we know how many nodes are required, then that could be considered, and we can definitely look into the number of nodes and come up with the pricing for that.
Okay, the next question is someone that says he or she is very new to data science.
Yes.
The question is, it's being prefaced with, it's probably a dumb question, but what is the most distinguished feature of this platform compared to GitHub?
So GitHub, you don't get that support, you don't get governance around data, you don't get to get reach of all the components that we have. GitHub is basically a developer comes in, put in code, no one's there to verify it, no governance is around it. So and there is not a lot you can, so you have those rigid pain points and challenges that are not taken in consideration while you're working on the code from GitHub. So let's say you're working on a code from Python, and then you need a library from some other programming language, then you're not able to collaborate and integrate it. So basically that integration, that collaboration, and then that collaboration among developers, that collaboration among code. So all those components that we discussed in our presentation today. So those are the components that differentiate it from GitHub as well. So and then GitHub is integrated into it. So that's one way, so you can leverage GitHub onto data science platform experience and data science experience platform. So I think that answers the question.
Okay, what happens after the 30-day trial ends?
So after the 30-day trial ends, basically go for a pricing option, buying option. So it's a trial. So once you're done with the trial, you'll have to buy it, unless you want to try it again using a different ID. But
you mentioned that you can clone a GitHub repository into DSX. Is that from the URL option?
Yes, or you can copy it onto your desktop and import the file from your desktop. So multiple options. But the easiest one is, yes, copy the URL, paste it there, and that's it.
Is there any student pricing available?
I am not sure about that, but I don't think so.
Okay, but we can try to find that out.
Yeah.
And then the last question I have is, do you know how it compares with Azure Machine Learning Experience?
Azure Machine Learning Experience is not a platform that would allow you to, so IBM stands one of the founding members of and platinum sponsor of Apache community. So Apache community is basically one of the biggest open source community for big data, and being the founding members of it and having largest number of committers onto that space, having largest number of committers in Spark, there is a lot of support that a developer can leverage from IBM, which I'm not sure that Azure ML would able to provide. So this is, and Azure ML machine learning is basically does not have all these features where you are able to collaborate and you get support from the community, and this whole platform idea is not present there. This is very unique by itself.
Okay, there's another question on individual pricing, but I think you already covered it with the free cloud. You can get started 30 days. They expired. You don't want to buy it. Create another. Use another email and
Yeah,
get another.
Yeah, but if you want to buy it, that would also be a good way to go for it, for enterprise or or for instances, if you want to, because otherwise, so let's say if you switch on to IDs, you will lose your work that you have put in there unless you want to copy it. That's not the
Who
best.
do I talk to for help once I start working on DSX?
Oh, once you start working on DSX, you'll have a chat option. You can ask for help in real time. There's like that particular chat option. You'll have an answer in like less than 5 minutes. So there are developers sitting on it like every single time. So there is 24/7 help option, unless you want to like call into the help desk or you need something in particular. But then everything is available right there. So that chat bot would definitely be able to answer every queries because it's live support. So.
Can you use Java on DSX?
I'm not sure. No.
Okay, so we'll follow up with that answer.
Yeah.
Do you have any developer advocates?
Any what?
Developer advocates.
I'm not sure what that is.
They say Google has a program, I guess, called Developer Advocates. I'm not sure.
Developer advocates. Okay. We have developer IBM Developer Cloud, and there is a developer component associated to it. So I can definitely look into it. IBM developer, yeah, developer.ibm.com. So I think, yeah, this is for big replicate for performing an active actor replication over to, so if it's called IBM Developer Works. Yeah. So that's where you can
Have any other questions?
Yeah, it says cognitive cloud data, IoT, Java TM, all topics. So we have Java here. Build skills, gain insights, and collaborate with experts. So Java development is part of Developer Works.
Yeah, no, I think what they're asking is for a specific program that Google has that's called Developer Advocates.
I think
And I'm not
yeah, I think
saying
parallel to it, because it says IBM, Google, and Lyft give microservices a ride on the Istio service mesh. So I think that's what Developer Works is. I'm not sure about Google's product, but that's what I believe they're referring to.
yeah, I will have to follow up on that because I don't think we have an answer now. It's a developer evangelism.
Okay, we can follow up on that.
Yeah. Okay, that's I think.
And in future, if there are some questions, we can always Twitter me, and that's another way to keep in touch. If have questions for me in particular, that's my Twitter handle.
And you can also just reply to the emails that you receive from the webinar platform, and we'll get back to you with that, with specific questions.
Yeah, and if someone wants a demonstration, like a deeper demonstration for for their clients, we would be happy to conduct that as well, given their level of interest.
Okay, I don't think we have any more questions.
All right. Well, thanks
Thank you.
everyone for joining. Yeah, and it was a pleasure delivering the webinar.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.